All right, people, what's going on around the world? The Matt and Todd Show Locker Room special is live in the house. We're glad all of you stopped by to hang out with us on this special edition show. It's our college football top 6 pick show, and it's just kind of our idea of what we want to do. And there's some teams kind of moving around here, and I'm going to feel a little more powerful about where I got some of these teams at, and we're going to throw them up here on the big old board here. But first, we got to bring on the brains behind the idea of all this. I mean, the Burge, this is him right here. There he is. Oh, whoa, there he is. Look out.
Hey, Burge, what's up? Who's that in the corner there? Oh.
And,
that's Mac, isn't it?
Yeah, the man of the hour. We'll bring him on here. He's been hanging out with us. He's a special correspondent.
Yeah,
we couldn't do it without him.
Field reporter.
It's just, how it's, Valley Head gets some coverage up there, and we love it. We love to celebrate the kids up there. And we'll bring on Aaron. What's up there, Mr. Aaron?
What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
How you doing, Aaron? Hey, was that
pretty good.
Covenant College you put a picture up of yesterday?
Yes, it was.
Okay, I thought so.
Covenant.
I didn't really think it was Valley Head High School. I was just messing with you.
It's a little bit too small for Valley Head.
I thought that was Covenant. That's a nice school up there.
I lived in that building for a while.
Oh, it's great. It's a beautiful.
First off, top news here. Of course, JSU is playing tonight. These are weird. These Tuesday and Wednesday night games are very strange. They're up 21-0 right now over FIU. Webb has thrown for about 40 and a touchdown, and he's ran for about 50 and a touchdown. So Wiggins also going for about over 30.
Oh, is Wiggins back? He's done for the year.
Wales, Brown, and Lewis have all Petaway have all made connections to get some yardage for the Gamecocks. So I'll give some scores on that, I guess, as we piddle through this and get through here. I've got cough in my nose, and it's just that time of year, and it just is what it is. So we just kind of keep marching right on through it. So after this weekend's, some of the travesties that's taken fold, I guess I could say most off, Michigan just seems like they're just waylaying everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they've not given up more than a touchdown to nobody except one, and that's Minnesota, and they scored 10.
Right. And it's 52-10.
Nobody.
Yeah. There.
McCarthy I got a whole list of names and some players and a few stats here. I'll give you some chatter about their defensive coach, Coach Mentor. Started out his career at Notre Dame, and we'll go through that as we get along through the show here. So, again, thank you guys for coming by. And I think I put his top picks up here. He's got Ohio State, Washington, Michigan, Georgia, Oklahoma, and Michigan. No, who's Free Shoes?
Free Shoes.
FSU.
Oh, Free Shoes.
I guess he's saying first. Reason why we've played 3 ranked teams. Yeah, that's a good reason. That's a good reason.
Ohio State, yeah, they have them in Florida State, and I think Alabama I saw have the most quality wins in the top 10.
Yeah,
Right.
Ohio State's played. They've played quality.
Mm-hmm.
They played ranked teams, and the only reason we'll look at our tops here in just a minute. And
I changed my mind. I nearly went with a number 1, but I changed my mind.
It's the butt whoopings, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even close. I know, Ohio State. What about the game? What y'all think about the game this weekend? Penn State, Ohio State.
Looked good on defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I think the Penn State offense leaves a lot to be desired. But
anemic.
Give credit to Ohio State's D, though.
Yeah, 240 yards. That's not many.
Allen just looked out of sorts, which when you play against, a better defense than they've probably seen this year, you're supposed to look out of sorts, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to look.
Yeah, they give him a hard time.
You're not supposed to look so good.
I didn't think anybody on their offense looked good. They just had a tough nut.
Well, Ohio State is good now. Go ahead, Eric.
really didn't think that any offense looked good in the game.
No, I didn't either.
Other than Marvin Harrison. I mean,
What did Ohio State rush for 83 yards? 83. I think there wasn't 200 yards rushing in the ball game combined. But I mean, I guess that's hats off to the defense. But yeah, Harris.
Ibuka didn't play.
No, he didn't play.
And their tailback didn't play. Their starting corner didn't play the game.
Harrison and the tight end had 230 of the 290 on passing.
I think Harrison was he was
like 11
thrown to 18 times.
Oh my gosh!
So I mean, at some point at Penn State, you think, well, man, we're gonna cover this guy, or
I don't know,
we're gonna double him, or
Ibuka must be. I've started noticing a trend here. If a player's hurt, that pretty much means he's not coming back.
Yeah, I'm curious.
I mean, I'm not curious to see if he's going to be back anytime soon. I don't.
Speaking of players out, let's talk about Bowers. You know, what's the deal from Atlanta and the Bitten Burns News? FY Sports there, FYP. What do we know about?
You know, there's obviously people thinking multiple things. I mean, he was. People say he's the safety valve. You know, they feel comfortable going to Bowers all the time. You know, it seemed like not every time, but most of the time when they threw to Bowers, he was wide open.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, they're scheming plays to get Bowers open, and you know that we're going to Bowers. When I say we're, I mean Georgia. Right. So the way I feel about it, if they can get Bowers open, they can get somebody else open too. So we're going to see what happens against Florida.
Well,
I think the scheme has been good and will be good enough to keep it rolling.
I agree. Now, on him being open, is it the fact that he's just good and he can get open? Is the next guy up going to be able? Is he going to be good enough?
Yeah, I hadn't heard, and I don't think I'll hear that our backup's better than Bowers.
No,
yeah,
from a Georgia fan. No, our backup's just as good as Bowers. You don't hear that much
because that's nonsense. I mean,
it's not true for one.
I said he's kind of like a unicorn. You just, there's not a lot of them out there.
Yeah. We got another unicorn. I've heard that before when players go down. Our other guy's just as good.
And a lot of times that, that could be the case.
It could be.
But in this situation, no. I wouldn't see that being the case at all.
I mean, Oscar Depth is you're going to be your next tight end making catches. And I think
he's good.
He could have a good game. He's good, but he's not Brock Bowers.
No. He's not going to completely take the game over.
Here's another one that I like to ask y'all about too this weekend. This past weekend, the 34-12 Missouri over South Carolina. We've been talking about Missouri, and we've had them, picked to win probably 7 games, this year. And I
only had them picked to win 5.
I mean, they're where I thought they would be now. So,
right, and they're already there, right?
Yeah. So 34-12, was that the score kind of surprising for y'all too, or it was for me?
Yeah. Missouri, technically, if we want to say who's still in this thing, they're still in this thing.
Well, they had 418 total yards. Good balance, 205 passing and 213.
I didn't think they should have lost I thought they played just as well as LSU, the game they got beat.
What did y'all think about the Missouri-South Carolina game?
I mean, I think Missouri is a pretty good team. They're better than they have been, but I still want to see. I want to see this week against Tennessee to see what happens. Then I want to see what happens when they come to Athens.
Now
they play Tennessee
Kentucky and Tennessee.
This week, yeah. Who did Missouri? Well, they got Missouri and Georgia left, right? Yeah. And Florida. No. Yes. Do they have Florida left?
Tennessee.
Missouri.
I don't know. Let's see.
I mean, I don't think South Carolina is any good. So
they got Georgia. They got Georgia, Tennessee, Florida, Arkansas.
Ooh, that's a good wind up, isn't it? That'll wake you up. I think they're pretty good, though.
Anybody disappointed in my team, the fighting Tar Heels going down to Virginia?
Shocked.
Yeah, very shocked.
I mean, Virginia had not played well this year, had they? I mean, they had some close ones. I mean, but I don't know. I was just kind of shocked.
Tauber, what are you on here spewing about Missouri over Georgia? What's going on here?
I don't know how that happened, to be honest with you. How did that happen? How did Virginia go up there and beat North Carolina?
Yeah, I got some bracketology from high school stuff. It's on the page, guys. Y'all go over there. There's a lot of bracket stuff for high school I just put up. Go over and look on the page. They just couldn't get. There was a lot of drop passes for North Carolina. That was a huge problem. They just didn't capitalize when they needed to.
That was a 24-point spread.
They do this. This is I call it Clemsoning. It's what we used to call it. Teams just pull a Clemson. It's hard, man, when the lights are bright and the Matt and Todd show puts you up in the top six. I mean,
they didn't stay in it long, did they?
No, that'll do it. What about Texas?
The Matty Ice jinx.
Yeah, I did. I jinxed them. I was pulling for them, man. No dip snuff. Mac Brown on the sideline. I mean, he ain't pulling for them.
I wasn't happy about that defeat, just to be honest.
Well, speaking of Mac Brown, what about Texas slipping by Houston? Man, what a game that was. 31-24.
I thought that wouldn't be bad. I know you said you didn't think it would be. Houston's good. I saw them beat West Virginia on a Hail Mary the week before.
I told Todd we was flipping or looking through channels or games, and I said Houston always this time of year they just do. I don't know why. They have some kind of about week 8 or 9 they mess around and upset somebody. I mean, they wound up with nearly 400 total yards. They out-yarded Texas. They outpassed them by 150 yards. I mean, it ain't even close.
Yeah, with Texas quarterback being out, y'all think they make it through the rest of the?
No, I don't.
Oh man, how long is he going to be out?
Unless Manning's just ends up being better.
Manning's not going to be.
Manning's not the guy. It's Murphy.
Oh,
Murphy's the guy.
Okay.
He's the one that come in and played the game.
I figured it'd be Manning.
No, he won't play. You won't see him this year. You'll see him debut next year.
Red shirt.
He'll debut his game for the ACC for the conference.
What do you think about the Oklahoma almost stumbling to UCF?
Obviously, they overlooked them. I mean, UCF's been getting have they not been getting beat bad by their conference opponents? Am I wrong on that? I'm pretty sure I'm not.
48-14, won, 44-31 loss, 36-35 loss. And Kansas beat them 51-22.
Yeah.
They got West Virginia coming up this weekend.
51. So Kansas beat them 51-22, and they lost to somebody else. What?
Yeah, lost to Baylor close, and Kansas State pretty close. But they drug Villanova.
Yeah, well, I figured that. I mean, that don't shock me really.
But Oklahoma, 31-29.
Yeah.
And then Washington wins in a close one.
That was a good game.
No, I don't think the Arizona teams are bad, though. I know their records don't show up, but they play people good.
Gus put up 400 yards on Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they throw for 250 and rush for 150. Penalties wasn't a big deal. Time and margin was all pretty close. Third down conversions was all the stats are close. So,
Well, I've noticed a downward trend in yardage gained by some teams. Have y'all not? I just look at a lot of stats at the end of the game. They're not mind-boggling anymore. Some teams are, but for the most part, it's kind of modest, you know?
Yeah.
Then Duke. If their quarterback finishes the game, man, that could have been a 2009 national title game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if McCoy would have finished the game for Texas against Bama, we don't know what may happen. But,
yeah, I know, for real.
Oregon and Washington State, 38-24, played them a good game. They're going to have another good game this weekend. They got Utah. USC on the dive. They're just falling apart, it seems. They don't tackle well. It's the same old flashy Lincoln Riley team that we always see. I heard Cowherd said, well, they don't have the struggles out west like they do in the SEC, and that's why the players are not, They don't play it. What are you talking about?
He don't even make
Dude,
sense.
I mean, talking about some of the worst, like Crenshaw
he really
Avenue.
don't.
I mean, some of the worst ghettos in America are South LA. Right there close to where, I mean.
He goes on diatribes against cities. Like, who would want to live in Denver? I mean, somebody's got to, I don't know.
They do. It's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
Taxes are high, but it's a beautiful place. Minnesota and Iowa, we talked about that game a little bit this weekend for the Golden Pig, and 12-10 is a field goal game. Did you watch any of that, Birds? Aaron, did y'all see the
I didn't see that one.
I watched some highlights of it.
It's either one of them ranked. I know Iowa was.
I don't think so.
Big Ten as outside of those three teams, they're not very good.
Well, outside of even like Michigan's, that looks like they're the only team that has a offense that is somewhat alive. I mean, everybody else looks like
the extreme sneezing.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it cut off this time.
Sorry about that. Everybody else's offenses looks anemic. I mean, Penn State looked horrible.
Yeah, that's not good.
Well, now Wisconsin was ranked, but Washington State beat them. They were ranked. Has Maryland been ranked?
Yeah, they come in the year pretty hot. A lot of talk on them.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the teams that Michigan's beat, and I don't know if any of those teams have a pulse.
No, I mean that's been my whole ploy with them all year. I mean they ain't, but
I mean they're not even close.
No, they're dragging them. They're beating them by 7. That's the only reason. If they were winning by like 28-0, now like you're scoring a touchdown a inning. I mean a quarter. You kind of worry. And I watched some highlights today because I hadn't watched them play, but probably just a half against Michigan State. So I went back and watched the Nebraska game. I went back and watched some Indiana game. Guys, we'll get into our top 6 here.
They've won a lot of those on the road.
I want to say
Nebraska, Minnesota, and
yeah, go ahead.
Before we put our top 6 up,
yeah,
I feel like that today, if the committee put out their ranking today, that they would have Michigan at number 1. Would y'all agree?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely.
And I feel like personally they would have Ohio State at 2.
Yeah, probably.
And I think it would be between Georgia and Florida State at 3.
Yeah.
And the other would be 4, and then
whichever
the other
one
teams would be left out.
Georgia, Florida State will be a 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And you got
that's what I
some people have Washington at like 6 or 7. And they got everybody except me. I'm the only guy not on the Oklahoma train. I'm the only person in America. I've watched media stuff today. I watched
Join us.
I've watched Crane and Company. We got off early today. We got done with the inventory stuff, so we got home at like 11 o'clock. I don't know. I'm just not a fan. I don't see it. I don't see, and how they even beat Texas. He had like 6 guys hanging on him. It's like he was changing out to a Superman outfit in the phone booth and just throws the ball up in there and they won the game.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about Oklahoma. They're going to win the rest of their schedule, and if they can beat Texas, they're in.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah, they beat them again. Yeah. But they're keeping
we've seen a lot of good Oklahoma teams make the national championship over the years, in the last 20 years, and just not do very well.
Yeah.
Or not win. I mean, I think USC beat them 5 touchdowns one time in the national championship. Florida beat them in the national championship.
That's the AP poll. Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Florida State. Michigan at 5, Oklahoma at 6, Texas, Oregon, Bama 9, and then Penn State 10. So LSU's at 15, Tennessee's at 21, Ole Miss 12. SC should have dropped out, but then they got James Madison.
I didn't like Penn State not dropping any farther than that. See, I think Oregon State and Ole Miss should be ranked over Penn State.
Yeah. Well, the scheduling, and I mean, they played a good game there against Ohio State, but they just didn't play good. But if you're playing a good team,
mm-hmm.
like Tennessee didn't look like a good team in the second half. Well, if you play against somebody that stepped up,
No, they
they
did
didn't
not.
adjust.
Are they not out? Both of us is having some nasal issues.
Yeah, God, man, that's constant with me.
Sneeze-a-thon.
Friday night at 5, that didn't help any instead of turning the wind.
Yeah, they rushed for so many yards, they got the dust stirred up.
Probably got sick here, and there goes Logan Anderson again for another 80 yards.
Good gosh,
he's amazing to watch. Just he makes it look so easy.
I don't know what they're doing. They could throw us 5 back in there in their backfield, and we'd rush for 300 or 400. Well, I mean, Anderson didn't even play last year, and they beat BB Comer, who's going to be 28-1. They beat them 45-28.
Yeah,
they just do. I don't want to get into the 5 thing, but it's just whatever you want, they do it. You want a great defense?
Top 6.
I don't know.
Well,
there's 7. Me and Matt went to a game one time where a team gained 450 yards against them and got to the 10, and 5 held them
every time.
6 times.
Every time.
They got in the red zone 6 times and scored 10 points.
Between the 10s, they could do what they wanted to.
Yes.
But when it got down there time to score, nope.
To be fair, also, though, BB Comer may have had the worst coaching job happen in the state championship game.
Well, they turned the ball over.
They did turn the ball
You
over.
just keep handing the ball off to the
To Harris.
Yes.
You're talking.
Yeah, he's great.
You don't think they handed it to him enough?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I don't see. We left.
We left by halftime.
Yeah.
They got ahead, and you could tell.
It was getting cold.
You could tell they wouldn't go. They're probably going to meet again, but getting out of the high school stuff there. Yeah, Michigan, Ohio State, Florida State, Washington. Nobody's going to fight for Bama up there. I am. I think they can play with any of those guys if they play a game. If they come out there and don't make a bunch of penalties.
Well, the only thing against those guys, and I agree with you, but boy, they have a bad half like they've been having against Michigan.
Yeah,
they're done.
Yeah.
I would think.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what worries me. That's why I'm not putting them in the 4 until I can see them next week when they play LSU. We'll find out. Because if they don't play a complete game, Daniels can score on them.
Oh, yeah, Daniels. He's getting on up there in the Heisman. Who is the Heisman leader now? Is it really McCarthy? I read that it was McCarthy.
Yeah, that's
what I read. Yep.
Why does it have to be a dang quarterback?
Oh, gosh. When I was growing up, only nothing but running backs won it. You remember like Marcus Allen, Barry Sanders, all them won it. Herschel, of course, Bo.
Who?
Bo Starkey? Who?
Starkey.
Yeah, Bo.
I don't know why the Davey O'Brien is not. Obviously, that's just a terrible award. Coral's great. I sure like seeing him run the ball. Judkins is a great tailback. I mean, there's other guys. Burton kid at Missouri, he's good.
Yeah.
There's tailbacks all over the place that can win this thing.
I don't know when the last time a running back got it. I know Ingram got it, and of course Devontae Smith and Henry. But I
don't know when the last tailbacks won it. That
was a while ago.
Yeah, it's been at least 6-7 years ago, ain't it?
I mean, when Henry won it, yeah.
We may be missing somebody in there, but that's just not. It's not flashing to my.
Yeah, I don't think we are.
I don't know why Burrow won it. I'm kidding. That's a joke. They had Burrow win it. Yeah, he threw for 5,700. I think. I didn't realize he'd thrown for that many that year.
They try to compare them to that Washington team. I don't know. I don't know about that. Is there who else got Michigan 1?
I've got Michigan 1.
Let's look at that beautiful bean footage.
You've been. I nearly put Ohio State up there after their win, but I don't know. McCord's playing good, but I got to wonder if they're going to win the big game, the Michigan game.
That's going to be a tale. Aaron, what is your Let's see it's about everybody's got Washington 6. What keeps you with Washington hanging in the 6? What's your idea behind that?
Well, the Oregon win looks great, but then to follow it up kind of a flunky win or whatever, I just don't feel that highly of them. They're too inconsistent. And then, the Pac-12 is going to end up cannibalizing itself. So I feel like that Washington still has a loss, at least one loss coming.
They could.
Possibly, yeah.
And of course, Oklahoma, you love them. Now, you got them out of you. You had them at 3 or 4, didn't you?
Heck, that was last week. I can't remember. I had Penn State last week.
Okay.
So Oklahoma still would have been 5 or 6.
Are they making you a little nervous right now, Oklahoma, or how they're kind of just fiddling around?
I mean, everybody is. I mean, other than Michigan, I mean, Florida State for at least a half against Duke kind of struggled through there. So
Florida State's the second half team too.
I think Duke's a pretty good squad, though. I think
Duke's pretty good, but Florida State, I've noticed that they have a trend to play a lot better in the second half. Just like Alabama. That'd be an interesting game if they played.
Yeah. If the both teams show up at halftime, maybe a slugfest.
Well, see, I felt like LSU was going to beat them. And the second half came, and it was just – and they outscored Duke 22-21-0.
Well, their quarterback went out.
Well, that helped.
Yeah, if that guy plays.
Yeah.
Geez, I don't know what happened. You got, of course, Michigan. What's leaving Georgia at 1 for you, Aaron?
Hey, like Nature Boy says, to be the man, you got to beat the man. And until Georgia gets beat, Georgia's going to be number 1.
Now, here's the thing. Now, I did this with Alabama too, so I'm not just picking on Georgia. Now, they're not defending national champions. We all know that. They won it last year outright. This is a new team. It's a different team. And I'm judging them based on how they're playing through this year. Because that team that won it the last 2 years, all them guys are gone. I'm just telling you why I don't have them at 1. Birds, what do you like with you still got Washington in there too, and Oklahoma? Is Oklahoma making you nervous too, or?
Yeah, I dropped them. I had Oklahoma at 4, and I dropped them below Florida State because I just feel like that their performance, that they didn't back up the Texas win very well. But I still just look at their schedule as they're going to have a 0 at the end until they get to that Texas game, and I just feel like that Texas win. Half of mine is what I think, and then the other half is what I think the committee may end up going with. And I think they're going to have Oklahoma in that top 6.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm just not that's just me. It could be any of you 3 would have a more comparable to the committee than me, because they are not going to put Alabama in there. I promise you. The only slim chance of mutter even darkness would be if Bama beats LSU by 2 touchdowns and beats Georgia by 2 or 3 touchdowns. I heard, listen to this, Tim Brando, the LSU homer, all-time great. Tim Brando's been doing this for a long time. He said today on Craney Company, please go back and watch, like their channel. I really enjoy their channel. Brando says today that if Bama beats Georgia, they're not getting in.
Oh, crap.
What? I had to rewind it. I thought maybe I was asleep. Did I just stumble into, some La La Land? What is he doing? Was he playing Candyland or something? He's even in reality?
The only thing that I could see he could base that on is teams having a 0 on the right side.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said, "Oh no, there's no way. An undefeated Oklahoma would get in over there." He may be right, and he's been doing
I don't think there'll be 4 undefeated teams.
He's been doing it a whole lot longer than I have. As long as I've been alive, he was calling baseball back when I remember when I was in school, I think. But how it's been, The ACC champ always gets in.
Usually 2, sometimes, a lot of times.
Now, if Georgia goes undefeated, and we talked about this last week, if the only game Georgia loses is to a field goal at the end of the game in Atlanta on December 5th, and Bama beats them by a field goal, they're going to put them at 2 and put Bama at 4.
I just don't know about that.
And Bama would play number 1, which would probably be Michigan. But by then, who's going to be the 4? You know, I don't see why if Georgia's won all. Now here's what he said too. He has Georgia at 3 also on his scale, just for the same reason I do. They just have trouble pulling away, and it's just the team, their chemistry, they're working things out, you know, and they're not the team they was. Those guys are gone. Bama couldn't celebrate those championships year after year after year. Those guys leave, they graduate, and they move on. It's just a different team. But to say that Bama beats Georgia in Atlanta and they don't make it, I don't know what I know.
Well, I just don't think there would be 4 undefeated. I mean, who would you have? FSU, Oklahoma, and Michigan.
They can't be.
That's 3.
Ohio State, because they're going to play.
Of course, you'd have Washington.
Washington
I don't
would be the 4. Yeah.
You would have to have 4 undefeated.
But that means they're going to run the table, and they're going to have to beat
But I don't.
Utah and Washington State later.
Yeah, and USC.
Yeah, I don't think those guys have a representative in the top 4.
You don't think the Pac-12?
Nope.
Even if they go unless they go undefeated.
Yes, that's the only way.
See, it was kind of looking like earlier a few weeks ago that we was going to have, you know, each conference represented, which is I've always been a favor of that. Let number 1 be bye. If you're number 1, you get the first draw bye, like we do in racing. You get to be bye the first round, and then the other 4, which would be 2 through 5, the other Power 5 teams. ACC play the SEC, and the Big 10 play the Big 12, and then say Pac-12 was number 1. I don't know. I'm just saying. You know, let it play. That would be interesting to me. That'd be interesting to me. On mine here, we'll run through. I've said why Michigan, why I kind of like them at being 1, and I'll give some information here of why. Mullins and Edwards is running for. Edwards alone has run for over 200 yards. Okay, Mullins is another one of their running backs. Of course, everybody knows Corum. He's run for over 600. Hall, number 28, he gets the ball. He's featured a good bit in the backfield. He's close to 100 on the season. Their wide receiver is the number 1 kid, Wilson, very good. That darn Clements kid, the 0, very good. The tight end kid, I think he's number 18, Loveland. I mean, they have people playing all over the place. On defense, number 5, the end, the rusher, Stewart. And the other defensive guy, Barrett, the big guy in the middle, then Johnson, and then Mason Graham, their corners.
Good.
They're very good. Morris, he's number 8. He's the one that returns a lot of punts for Michigan. And then the Sanaya Morgan kid, number 82. He hooked up in a lot of the games in Nebraska, Indiana games. He made some catches too. So Coach Mentor, he started his career at Notre Dame in 2006. 19 and 20, this guy was defensive analyst and coordinator assistant for Baltimore Ravens. So he went to Vandy after he left Baltimore and helped over there last year. So he's Georgia State. He was there for a year at Indiana State, and he helped at Cincinnati some too. This guy's been around. Hey, hats off to Mentor.
Yeah,
he's like 40 years old. He's a young guy.
What's his first? I mean,
do
y'all have any? I don't know. I've never heard
Jesse.
of this. Jesse Mentor.
He was born. I forgot where I looked where he come from. Seemed like he's from up north. So he maybe he played at Michigan too, or something like that.
Jesse Mentor.
Jesse Mentor, hats off to you. He's probably going to go. He may be defensive coach of the year. Guys, I mean, they ain't played nobody but, like Scott Lloyd's Legal Service and Everett's Dental Assistant Technology School over here in Rome, Georgia at Coosa, the dental hygienist.
Cosmetology.
Northeast Highland Tech over there, the OTA class. I mean, they've played nobody. It's terrible, and it's hard to get a cap on how good Michigan is. They come out and play the first quarter, and they just bully people around. But nobody can even score on them.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and not mean to pick on Michigan, have they played anybody in the top 50? Maybe Minnesota.
Yeah. I'd say they played a top 30 team.
Let's see.
I don't. It's bad.
Very bad. It just, how do you get ready? You know how they line up? I like their offensive line. They look like an old Georgia Bama team. They do. LSU. Furball's built an SEC looking team, and he's coming to win. I mean, if you're going to, copy somebody, it'd be good to copy a team that, if a conference that's won it, for the past 15 years.
I still can't believe they lost to TCU.
I don't know how that happened. I just went.
I mean, McCarthy never throws picks, and he threw 2 pick sixes.
I think the coaches learned. I think there was a lot of coaching growth there. McCarthy's throw for 1,800 yards, 18 touchdowns, 3 picks on the year.
He don't throw interceptions much.
Now I'll carry on there. Ohio State, I got them at 2, and I just bumped them down. We're just kind of doing this week to week, so I'm kind of changing it week to week. Now I've had them at 1 forever.
Right.
I like how they play football, like their style, love their backfield, love all their receivers, Abuka and Harrison Jr. and McCord. I think he's going to be fine. I think he's good enough to win football games. Georgia, I've had them at 3 the whole time. And they go out here and blow Florida's doors off. If they beat a Florida team, I would say they should win that game 42-14.
I can't tell about this Florida team. I can't.
When you look at comparisons with Beck and them, it's not a lot of difference. Beck's thrown for, I think, some more yards, but like touchdowns and percentages, him and Graham's pretty close.
Yeah, Mertz is good.
He's not bad.
No, he's not.
I don't think they got enough weapons around him. That's why I would assume Georgia should beat them by 3 touchdowns. They don't have the weapons. It's the recruiting classes. It's going to catch Florida.
Yeah, they don't need to get off his back a little bit.
Florida State at 4. I mean, they're just taking care of business. Yes, they have hiccups, and all of the teams that we've been fans of, they have hiccups during the year. They have moments when they don't play well, have games they come in, they were out doing God knows what the night before. And sometimes, honestly, like Georgia's games or Michigan, it's hard to get up to play, Johnny Lamar's oil change service.
Yeah.
Or East Cobb County, Chattooga Tire and Lobe Center. It's hard to get up to play those games.
I was surprised. I think that was evident with Washington, which I still don't think Arizona State's terrible. But
it was raining that game.
7. Yeah,
he didn't play good, and we give his stats that night. It was wet. He was aggravated, and when that light gets on you, you do what North Carolina does. Now getting out of the top 4, those guys would play today. I like Bama at 5. That second half team that's played most of the year, they got rid of the penalties. They played a lot better. Seemed like played good team ball. And I think the coach, Reese, I think he's also figuring these guys out as he goes along through the year too.
Yeah.
But Milrose got to run those more quarterback draws. We got to see him run the ball more. It's just that's the way it's going to have to be for him to be successful. And, of course, Washington at 6, they wasn't great. And I had them up at, way up high. I had them like 2 or 3. And they stumbled and piddled there, but I ain't forgot them. Look, they still won the game.
Right.
And sometimes just finding a way to win the game when you play a close one like that,
and
you're great.
Win.
They did. Like Georgia beating Auburn, I didn't crush them for that. That was not how you want to play the game, but they found a way to win. So that's kind of my 6 until Bama will come out if they lose to LSU. And if they beat LSU and Florida State winds up messing around here, Bama's going to wind up in my top 4.
Well, quickly, I'll go. Then I'll let you two guys go. I've got Michigan, Georgia, Ohio State. I nearly jumped Ohio State to 1, but decided to back off that. Florida State. The reason I got Washington number 5 is obviously because they're undefeated. And Oregon at 6 because I felt like Oregon should have beat Washington. Maybe if Lanning had punted, they might have. I think there was a great chance they won that ball game. You can't give Washington that ball at the 50.
Yeah. Yeah, they had their shot at it.
Yeah. I mean, it's 4th and 2. I mean, and Nick's fired on the pass. I mean, that ball game right there.
Credit to Bo for hanging in there. And I mean, dude, he moved across the country.
Of course, I don't have Oklahoma in the top 6. But
traitor, how dare you not put the Boomer Sooners in there?
That little mix up. I think Oregon's better than Oklahoma.
I think they're way better than Oklahoma. I believe Oregon will beat them by 20.
Oregon's pretty good, I think.
I do too.
They didn't play inspired the other day. Well,
that's the only reason they're not my 6 is because one reason: Washington beat them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason.
Yeah.
The Pac-12 guys would definitely be at 6 right now for me. But any of those top 4, number my 2 and 3, my 1 and 3 or 1 and 2 are going to play anyway. That's why I just put it 1 and 2. They're going to play in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, right.
Now the thing that Landon's talking about, stealing signs. It's all over the news. People's making videos about it everywhere. First off, to me, it's not a big deal. It's the kind of thing that's been going on for 100. Literally, I promise you, it's been going on for as long as I've been playing football, 100 years. It goes on in baseball. If you don't want your signs to get stole, be more creative. So don't.
Hey, yeah, guys buying tickets to go to other games.
Yeah, who cares? I mean, look, you ought to be able to go to the line of scrimmage if you're just that Billy BA.
Mm-hmm.
And say, hey, we're coming right here on the 2 side. The snap's on 2, fatty. Come and get it. And snap the ball. I feel like I ain't going to bring up 5 again. I feel like you can go up there and tell them the darn play and just say, we're running it. We're going to pitch it around the left end. We're going to run a high toss sweep on 2 break.
Well, man, they watch a lot of film on them. And they
watch
know
this. And they pitch it to Anderson. He's gone. We know the play, coach. He told us that. What are you talking about? He told us the play before they run it. And we still couldn't stop it. Because it's about execution. It's about timing. It's about being on your blocks and being on time and being in the right place. Who cares if he needs film to beat Syracuse middle school, college? He played some middle school team. But they're trying to get rid of him or something. Now, something else is going on here.
You think he was stealing signs a few years ago when they got waxed by the dogs?
I don't know, but I know that guy, and they've done tracked that guy that he's bought tickets to all kinds of non-conference games. Did you see that?
Yeah, I seen it on like
probably done.
Well, they act like
he's done. They're going to find him guilty of this. They might not fire him.
I didn't know nothing about it. I mean, I don't know everything goes on here. That's a lie. Now you're a liar. Now don't lie. Just go on there and say, yeah, I knew he was doing it, and it's not really that relevant. I mean, people do. It's not like people don't do it.
Well, I'm sure he sent him to do it. I would think.
Probably not personally. But he's probably just told like we did. We went to Pickens County to watch them play, and we didn't film it.
Yeah. Yeah, watch. We just scouted it.
Yes.
You don't have to. It's all out there anyway.
I don't
break it down play by play.
Yeah, the film's there. So,
well,
I don't get it, man. I just don't. They're not. Listen, nothing's going to come. There's not illegal to be at a game.
Yeah, if you pick up on something, I mean,
but if they can prove it, if they can find film of them recording it, there can be NCAA infractions on this. But right now, as this stands right now, this moment, as far as I know, the only thing's breaking this is 2 writers for Yahoo Sports that are Ohio State fans. I'm sorry, Jeff.
There you go.
But it's Ohio State fans at Yahoo Sports News. They're breaking this story and saying this. Well, we've seen some kids from Michigan work with them at these games. So what? Well,
you can send somebody to scout. Oh, you can't record it. That's the whole deal.
Now, if they find that they've recorded it, then Furball needs to get I don't. It seemed like you're trying to get rid of him. I don't know why.
Furball's probably leaving anyway. So
a lot of people assume that.
Where's he going?
NFL. He'll go back out west or something. So with the call cheating, change your darn signs. I played baseball. We all know. I knew people. We watched games, and I've been playing the games, and I'm watching the guy take the signs that were given. I've seen it happen in front of me. I know what they're doing, but it don't matter because he couldn't hit the cheese no way. Because I look back at the mound and say, throw it. Throw it.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't going to hit it no way. Hey, steal the sign anyway. He ain't going to hit it. I don't know. That's just me. I'm kind of rude, I guess.
Well, baseball's been like that for
150 years.
Yeah.
If somebody can pick up on
this arm out.
Yeah.
If somebody can pick up on something.
This that I put up. This is what I believe the college football playoff committee is going to come up with next week. If nobody loses, that is.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I mean, that's the 6 undefeateds, right?
Well, nothing's going to happen to Michigan until next year anyway. Do we all not know? We all know what a joke NCAA is. They're a joke. They're a joke. They knew for a fact Cam Newton got paid. They know for 100% fact his daddy bought new pews and stuff to church. They paid off his trucking company truck. They had tickets on it. I don't care that they paid Cam. Cam got ripped off. Go back and listen to me on it the whole way. $250,000. That's all he got. They should have given him $250 million because he won their first title. Who cares if they paid Cam Newton some money? I don't care. I never care if they paid the kids.
Yeah.
What's the big? So his daddy got some pews in his church. Great.
Yeah.
Bring more people in. Somebody needs to find some Jesus. Was it a little crooked or shady? They do it all the time. I don't know. Is there rules against it? NCAA is a joke.
Yeah.
When have they ever done anything right? The only reason they're even involved in college sports at all is because of March Madness of college basketball. And in the year 2032, their contract ends, guys. The NCAA can be told to take a hike. And they won't have to be in more NCAA. We can form our own committee and do our own thing and get away from them. It's a joke. They don't do nothing. What do they do? What have they ever done? Besides making a mess of this NIL stuff.
Right. Yeah, it's a mess. It's definitely a mess.
Well, anybody want to take a stab at anybody outside of this top 6 or 8 besides obviously Alabama have a shot at it anymore?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like who?
Alabama, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I've got to. If Missouri wins out, I mean, they're a one-loss team. I don't think Air Force, no matter if they go 13-0, is going to be considered for this. Would y'all agree with that?
Where's your pride at? Where's your sense of America?
There's no way they're putting them in there. Texas is still in this thing. But I don't. But that's about Oregon. I mean, that's about it. I guess technically Utah is, but
I heard an argument on one of those shows on ESPN.
North Carolina.
Yeah, they're hanging in there.
Go on.
That said that they would not see the Pac-12 getting left out as long as whoever wins it or whoever's the representative is only has one loss.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it depends on who else is there.
I think they would only take Washington and Oregon. I don't think Oregon State gets in there.
No.
Or Utah.
It's going to have to be.
I guess Ole Miss still alive.
5 or 8. Washington's 5 and Oregon's 8 right now. Now Washington's already beat them, but Washington better not lose a game. Now, if they lose a game late, you know how it is, man. It's better to lose one early because Florida State did what? They play early game with LSU.
Yeah.
When it just everybody kind of forgets.
Yeah.
And Washington, they have at Stanford, at USC, at home against Utah, at Oregon State, and Washington State remaining.
That's tough. That's tough. Hey, they deserve it if they win all them.
You're darn right.
Yeah,
I would assume they've done one of them.
I mean, Oregon State's pretty solid. I mean, you're beating USC's kind of backtrack, but they can still beat you. And but there's not many teams left, guys. Let's just
look at that before we get off. Just be honest, and we can't look at every team.
Right.
Look at the top 10. Basically, nobody else is going to make it. And right now, this time of year, if you're out of the 10, you're out.
I think Penn State's finished.
So the top 9, and let's look how many conferences are represented. All right, number 1 and number 9 are the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't writing this down here. I'm gonna do
you say if LSU wins out, no chance?
No chance. They got 2 losses.
Yeah, there ain't no way, man. Even if they beat Georgia, all they're going to do is play spoiler.
And we both agree that Missouri's not going to win out.
The SEC's got 2 teams.
Yeah,
I think North Carolina can win out, and they're done. They're not going.
Big Ten has 1, 2.
2.
They got 2. And Big 12's got 1, 2. They got 2. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Big 12, they got 2. And Pac-12.
I agree with Todd. I think Ole Miss is still in this thing.
No.
No, I think they're out.
No, Ole Miss is out. LSU's out.
I said that, but I got to thinking now. Ole Miss can't. There's no way they can.
They ain't gonna win the West.
They can't play. They can't play for the West, right?
Mm.
If
Alabama even loses.
Yeah, if Alabama was to lose, then yeah, they could play for the West.
They'd have to lose to
Alabama would have to lose too.
Auburn and LSU.
Yes,
which would be 2 West games.
Yeah.
And if they dump into
right,
well, it is a shot, but it's a long shot.
Yeah, it's. I forgot that the Alabama's loss was a non-conference game.
Yes, I did too when I said that. I'm like, they're still in it.
No,
yes, I think
they're undefeated in the West.
In the West.
So everybody's got in 2. The ACC's got 1. So, you'd assume that the Big 10 and Big 12, all right, they're going to cannibalize, right? I mean, they're going to play each other, so they're going to have 1 apiece. And the Pac-12 is you got Oregon and Washington. They've already played each other. Washington's already won that, so there's no way for Oregon to. How's Oregon going to jump from 8 to 4?
I think they may be done.
How would they get in?
I think one of our big problems
get in to be if Washington loses.
Yeah.
Well, they don't play each other again, will they?
No.
Okay, go ahead, Ben.
One of the big problems is going to be if Michigan keeps winning and we see them at 1 next week and they lose a 3-point game to Ohio State, they're going to want to keep both of them around.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, they'll put them at 4 and put both Ohio State to 1.
Well, they'll want to keep both of them around anyways, unless you got your undefeated Washington and Florida State and Oklahoma.
So if you got 3 undefeated teams, say Georgia's undefeated, Florida State's undefeated, and let's go Washington undefeated. You're telling me that you're gonna put Washington or Florida State in over a Ohio State team that would probably be ranked 2 and lose by 3 points to Michigan at the end of the year?
Yes.
They stuck them both in there last year. They stuck Ohio State in there after a 22-point loss.
But not over an undefeated team, though, correct?
No.
Yeah, that's just going to be wild to see if they have to make that decision.
They won't do that, surely.
If Oklahoma, say if they, I mean, Kansas State, they won the Big 12. All they got was the Sugar Bowl to play Alabama. They get beat the Sugar Bowl by a runner-up team, by a team that didn't even win their conference.
How about this? Why don't we just winner of Alabama and Georgia, if they play, goes. Winner of Ohio State and Michigan goes.
I like it.
Games.
The winner of Texas, Oklahoma goes.
That's 3.
Then Florida State goes.
Well, they'll have to beat.
They'll have to beat somebody, won't they? They don't have it easy. I don't know. I don't know. They may lose a game, but it can't be that matter of fact. You know what I mean?
What is on the other side? They just play one big conference in the ACC now?
No.
Okay.
They got a Coastal and Atlantic.
I'm like,
that's what I thought, but I don't see the breakdown.
It's hard to find. I got it somewhere. I sent it to Todd.
This is the first year they're actually using not the Coastal and the Atlantic. It's all one big conference.
I can't wait till we go to the 12 team.
So they got Wake Forest, then they got Pitt, then they got North Alabama the 18th. So Florida State's pretty much locked in. So they're not playing the conference championship game, or are they just going to play 1 and 2? Or
I think that's the way it is.
Yes,
1 and 2.
yeah.
So they might have to meet Duke again. Well, no, probably North Carolina, isn't it?
Louisville.
Louisville right now.
3-1 Louisville. See, this is what you run into, which, I mean, that's happening East and West too. But you have a number 2, like they're number 4. They're going to play number number 13th ranked. Yeah, 18th ranked Louisville.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Louisville's going to catch another loss, though. They just lost to Pitt. So
Bad.
yes.
Pitt is a crown killer. You remember the one year they went 8-4, but they were Clemson's only loss, and somebody else, Penn State's only loss.
Well, the game of the weekend, Louisville and
or
Duke.
Penn State lost too.
I'm going to say Duke has all those things. Duke has Louisville and North Carolina left on the schedule.
Luke and Louisville are the two bigger ranked games of the weekend. Number 10, 25. The Louisville's 25.
Mm-hmm.
So Florida State's going to have to wind up playing. Good God. Wait a minute. No, they're not. They're 18. I'm sorry. But they got Virginia Tech, Virginia, Kentucky. That's the rest of Louisville's schedule. They don't even play this weekend. They're off.
Louisville.
My.
But I don't think it matters what Louisville does. I do not think they'll be picked. I think the only ACC team that will be picked is Florida State if they go undefeated. I don't think any ACC team with a loss is going.
Not unless.
But North Carolina's not if they win out.
Not unless Bama beats Georgia.
Because they're going to go, you lost to Virginia. They went 5. They went 4.
I agree with Jeff here. Michigan could lose to Penn State if they don't go to Happy Valley and play a good game. That'll be their first legit competition.
Yeah, but you can't. I don't know. It's just hard to predict that stuff.
Yeah, and it's a dang noon kickoff. What kind of stupid
it really is. I just remember in 1995 talking all that crap about how bad Florida was going to beat Nebraska, and it was one of the worst beatdowns in national championship history.
Bad.
By Nebraska.
That wasn't even fun to watch.
No. It was like 60-24. Do you remember that, Aaron?
Oh, yeah. It was awful.
Yeah, we watched.
Benton was a little younger, and you were 95. You were only about 8 or 9, but nobody expected that.
No. We watched
62-24. They were undefeated.
We watched some of it over at Bishop's house. So.
Oh, it was bad.
I think we got bored and went outside. We probably went and shot bottle rockets at each other or something.
It was bad. It was just
that was
completely.
My senior year.
And somebody was like, Nebraska will kill them. I'm like, what are you talking about?
They just throw the ball over the place. When that Charlie Ward in them?
Mm-hmm. That was Werfel.
Danny Werfel, yeah.
Werfel, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they knocked him out. They killed him early, hit him hard. And Lawrence Phillips come back. Y'all remember Lawrence Phillips? He had been suspended the whole year. Mm-hmm. Well, heck, that just made him better.
Football, so.
But I'm just saying, you never know.
No. And what we're doing is kind of it's some of these teams are it seems like they're kind of locked in because of where they're at in their conference. But Washington goes out here and lays an egg. They got 4 tough games left.
Yep.
They're done.
And Benton, I'm not lying about this. I dreamed the other night and I'm sitting there in my dream going, you've got to be kidding. Alabama wins it outright. I dreamed that. And I'm like, in my dream, I'm going, how?
Yeah. If he wins,
and
he needs to retire.
And they got to the championship and wasn't even close. But that was just a dream. I don't know if it was a foreshadowing or.
That's it. I'm a name is dreamed it. Put your money on it. Call Joey the Fish.
But
now.
I knew that Alabama won it because I was sitting there like, you got to be kidding, because I'd talked a bunch of junk and was like, there was no way they're going to win it this year. And they won it.
No,
but
we didn't.
You never know.
We've seen things happen.
I think Alabama's battle is getting in it. Let those people in that meeting room putting Alabama in it.
Usually what's always helped, whether you're a fan or not of Alabama, what's always been a big sale is their fans travel and they know their fans will buy tickets.
Yeah.
And Georgia's that way now too. They've come on and got 2 now. So now you got another team that they'll travel. And always it used to be
tired of seeing them 2 teams though.
I know. After Clemson, Nutter, and Alabama part 6, so I'm watching the Jaws marathon or something. I mean, honestly, the last time they played, I'm not going to say was happy Bama lost, but I was like, Jesus Christ, man, somebody's got to beat them at some time. Man, how do you just? It's like Todd said one time, like, they're not fun to watch. Really, you watch them block, like the linemen never miss a block. The receivers run perfect routes every game, all the time. And now this team is let me tell you, the old people that are watching, if your age is 40 or older, this is the Alabama I'm used to watching. Don't show up. They fiddle far around. The quarterback's about half drunk. Freddie Kitchens or something the first half. And then the second half, old Gene going there and crawl their butt, Or darn it, the other guy.
Did you not see the
other coach,
Bill Curry?
Our Bill, I watched Gene coach some, but Bill a lot. That's the ones. This is the Alabama teams I remember winning closer kind of games, coming into the last half of the game. All this 55-0, and and it all started with Jalen Hurts. It kind of started really, honestly, with Phillip Sims. That's the first time we really seen an RPO to be run, but he transferred out, went back home to Virginia because his mom was sick. He was fixing to start running it then. Then Lane Kiffin comes, and he gets a hold of Blake Sims, and then here comes Coker. And they just go on a tear, and the SEC really wasn't strong for about 2 of those years that Bama won it. The conference wasn't real good. But, hey, they beat the nation's number 2 that they said was supposed to be the best. They go out there and smack Clemson and smack Notre Dame, which was a joke. Notre Dame was a joke. They should have never been in that game. Terrible. That wasn't but media, publicity, crap. But this Alabama team, guys, if you're our age, if you was born in, I don't know, 75 or before, you remember watching this kind of Alabama football. I do. This is what I remember when I'm 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and we're granddaddy stomping the floor saying, run the ball. What are you doing? Why are you throwing it out? Not this, 55-42. The first year we beat Clemson, what was the score? It's like a world.
It was 45-40.
Some kind of national record. The combined yardage was like 1,300 combined yards. What? 13? That should be for a whole season for 2 teams.
I saw a SEC short today, and the joke on there was somebody had woke up from a dream or from a coma or something. I don't know. They were out of the loop, and they's like, do you mean to tell me an Alabama team that's this bad is still in the mix?
Yeah, and they're playing. They have 400 yards a game. Total offense.
What about Alabama?
Yeah.
Alabama with old Joe Kynes, you got to stop inside trap.
I do remember that. I love Joe. Joe was a great guy, Hall of Famer, man. He was an old legend from Arkansas.
Joe coached 3 years at Chautauqua High School.
No, he didn't.
Yeah,
he did.
Seemed like a great guy.
They run him off.
Wow.
Yeah, they did.
I don't know. I heard they did.
It sounded like he's pretty rough.
I don't know.
They probably give him a cheer to the back and go over and coach some football, by God. I guarantee the boys tackled well. I bet they didn't mess up a lot.
I don't know how good they were then.
What years have they been?
Early 70s.
Really? Early 70s?
Yeah.
I think it was, yeah.
I mentioned that to him in a coaching clinic one time, and he looked at me and was like,
how do you remember that?
H-E blank out of my face, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
You remember coaching?
He didn't say that, but he was like, yeah, I was there.
Anyway, we was up there at the Packers camp one time watching film.
Yeah, he just completely went, yeah, and moved on.
Maybe he was embarrassed by it.
I don't know. I think he just moved so far past it. Because at that time, wasn't he like the assistant head coach with assistant? Yeah. Under Shula or something?
Yeah. He was interim, wasn't he? Didn't they
first
he was the interim coach?
Yeah.
And no offense to Chautauqua, but he'd moved way past high school.
Well,
69, 70, and 71.
God dang, man.
This would have been in 04 or 05. When you was playing middle school ball, me and Jeff and Cooper went to a clinic, a free clinic down there. Before Saban was even thought about.
That was the only 3 years he ever coached high school football.
He got it, had enough of that crap.
Huh. Only 3.
Chautauqua will do it to you.
Hey, settle down now.
All right, guys. Thank everybody for coming by and hanging out with us tonight. And that's our top 6. We're going to get out of here and go work tomorrow. And I hope everybody has a good day. Where are you going to be at this weekend, Birds? What do you got?
Well, I've been summoned over to Valley Head tomorrow night. I might go over there.
Okay.
And I heard they're playing on Thursday night.
Yes. I tried to get a hold of the guy at Prep to let them know it was tomorrow night. They got them down for Friday, and it's not.
Oh, is it over? Is it at home, Aaron?
Yeah.
Yes.
Gilville.
And then and then I'll
yeah, he did tell me that, I think.
I'll be on the call with Paul Kevin Friday night for Chattooga's last game.
I hope they get a W there.
Yeah, I think they will. They should. Got Coosa coming to town for the last game of the year.
Chattooga's played a pretty tough little schedule, hadn't they?
Yeah, they honestly, they lost Armurchie on the 1 yard line. They should have beat Armurchie.
Mm-hmm.
Should have beat Murray County.
They should be about 4 and 5.
4 and 6, yeah. 4 and 6 is 3 and 7, 4 and 6, which would be improvement. I mean,
yes,
they're better than they were last year, but it's
this takes time.
Jimmy's and Joe's, not the X's and O's.
They've lost a lot of pieces
in the system.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Around this part of the woods, Dean will be at LD Bruce Field announcing for the Tigers. They will be taking on Appalachian for a 4th spot. We're thinking to be maybe could create a tie for Cedar Bluff to maybe make a playoff again. Collinsville will be at home hosting North Sand Mountain Bison. Of course, you know about the Fighting Naps. And Cherokee County Warriors, those guys will be traveling to Asheville to face the Green Bulldogs down there. And the game weekend, really, probably, Racklin's going to be at Spring Garden, which is going to be big implications for who's going to go to Valley Head and face Aaron's Purple Tigers, or who's going to host Coosa, winner host Coosa. Now, that bracket again is up on the page. Go to our Facebook page right now. AL Prep had put it out, and I copied them and put it up over there, 1 through 4A. You can go look at it, and it shows all the breakdowns. I put north and south up there. The Fighting Red Devils, the Benefields, will be at Ider, Tyler, Dalton, number 1 fan. They'll be up there in a big game, another one here in the area. If one of the game at Spring Garden gets out of hand, I may travel up the road about 3 miles to Piedmont, Alabama. They'll be fighting with the Sexton bunch of Hoax Bluff.
That's a big game.
That's a huge game. That game there, the Hoax Bluff's got to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
We went through this other night with Starkey, and Geraldine's at Glencoe. Seen that one on there too. There's some other big games, but go in there and look at that bracket. Boy, there's some good ones on there. And I looked around at some of that 4A stuff. Man, Jackson Hanley or Andalusia could play in a semi game to see who goes to state. And Cherokee County, look, they just appear now, looking at first glance, they would probably have to get a Westminster in a semi. It looked like.
They got a good shot at going back.
And that Milry team in 1A, man, I was just keep your eyes open for them.
I think
they got a really good chance to be in there this year.
Yes.
Tuscaloosa, T-Town, Matt and Todd Show live.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be there.
Sidelines.
Yep, December
They run us off, but we'll go down there first.
They get out of here, some Shaw boys. Matt and Todd Shaw. What?
I like the way you can't even do that if you we're not making any money off of it. Get off the sideline. They won't let you do nothing.
Get out of there, fat ass. You don't know what you're doing. Idiot. Well, guys, we appreciate y'all. And Carrollton plays Westlake for the region title, says Jeff.
Actually, that was last week, and Carrollton won 31-7.
Carrollton beat Westlake 31-7.
Wow.
27-9. So who's Carrollton got this weekend?
Carrollton plays Campbell this week.
They got that. Also, Soup. That's who was that we was talking about last week that played them? North Carolina. Now, how did North Carolina get the same team?
Played Campbell.
Yeah.
Oh, is that not the same?
How does North Carolina play in high school?
Well, Carrollton's like a college, and Buford.
By the way, go in and check out Average Joe's YouTube channel and check out Oxford's weight room. Good Lord of mercy, man. It looks like Nick Saban's down there drooling.
Dalton has Cartersville for the region title over there in that division. If Dalton beats Cartersville and Cass beats Calhoun, Calhoun is out of the playoffs.
Ew.
Oh my God! For the first time
22
since
years.
2000.
God made Adam.
and they'll have a new coach next year.
And don't worry, I don't see them losing.
Hey, they won the region. What was it? 20 straight years? 20?
Yeah, for the longest time there, they
They didn't even lose a game.
Yeah, the I remember trying. They always boasted that they were the last region loss or the last loss that they had. And that was been long. That was when everybody was single A, when they were real small schools.
Yes, try and beat them.
Yeah,
great game.
We had them beat in 2004. We had Calhoun beat, was up something 26 to something. Then
yeah, they were good right through there.
Those were right too.
Yeah,
about all of them I had right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, y'all have a great day at work.
That's Central.
Yeah. Cherokee County will play Central first round.
Okay.
All right,
we appreciate y'all, birds.
We're going.
Yeah, next week this will be on Tuesday night when they do the real show. Not the real show. We're the real show.
Yeah,
the talking goobs and pencil pushing bean counters and radio consultant goobs.
Mm-hmm.
They'll do it Tuesday night.
Yeah, we'll. I'll come up with something. There'll be some way for us to display who's in what spot. Blah blah blah. I'll come up with something fancy for us.
Okay. Right. Yeah, me and you'll come on and do a Tuesday night something.
All right, yeah.
All right, man. Good to see you. Good luck, y'all.
Yeah, safe travels. See you, Aaron. And y'all, good luck. Have a safe game and stuff tomorrow night. Tomorrow night should be nice, good weather. All right, see you guys. Y'all keep your heads clear and your hearts full of God. Matt and Todd Show back live Sunday night. Guys, come by and check us out. Show 209. We'll have all this college breakdown. Florida, Georgia game, cocktail party. We're going to see who's ready to out there to roast wieners and who's going to be out there cooking shrimp. We're going to see who the real deal is. Tennessee, Kentucky. I like that game.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Be a good game.
I don't know what to do about it, but I don't know what to pick, but that'll be a good one.
I'm excited to watch that one. All right. Y'all come back and hang out with us Sunday night, 6 o'clock, as always, right here, the Matt and Todd Show.